I remember being told I was stupid, that this was all I could ever do, no one would ever love me, this is all I was good for. He dated me for 6 months, and then he invited me to move in with him. I thought that I had met the one. When we first got there, he told me to get dressed up. He was going to take me out on the town, but instead he drove me to this dead-end street, and he parked the car along the curb, and he said, "I spent a lot of money to get you here, and you're going to need to get that money back." And I thought, of course, whatever I need to do to get a job. And he said, "No, you're going to go into that door right there, and it's an escort service, and you're going to sign up." And when I started to say no, it's when he slapped me across the face. He said, "You're going to go in that room and you're going to get my money back." When you're being trafficked, your trafficker definitely brainwashes you through a variety of abuse, sleep deprivation, food deprivation, threats to you and your family, threats to your children. You believe you're never getting out. If I just keep my head down and obey the rules, then someday I might be able to be okay. Over the next nearly 6 years, I ended up getting bought and sold between 3 different traffickers. I had been hospitalized for dehydration and overexhaustion. I've been to jail multiple times for solicitation-related charges. I've been branded twice. 2 men tattooed their names on my back. I've had my face broken in multiple places. I just wanted to die. And I tried to kill myself twice. It wasn't until a federal raid where my trafficker was finally arrested on tax evasion charges that I was finally able to grab my daughter and run. When I fled from my trafficker, I didn't think I would do anything with my life. I was sleeping on couches. I thought that I would work at a minimum wage job, live on food stamps as a single mom. I really had no clue what I was going to do. Little by little, I started to rebuild. Little by little, I'd go to school, take a night class, get a promotion. Little by little, my daughter and I got the support and the community that came around us. Over this time of rebuilding my life, I met this guy named Matt, and we got married. We started a family. I had been about 2 to 3 years escaped from my trafficker. Really had started to find a sense of normalcy with me and my husband and our 2 little kids, when one morning I was drinking my cup of coffee, and I can remember the Lord saying, "How can you sit here and do nothing? How can you sit here in your nice, comfy house with your warm cup of coffee when you know what it's like to be more afraid to go home than you are to get in a car with a stranger?" I started by turning my story into a training. I wanted there to be a narrative, a call to action, or like a solution to my testimony. And I started looking for different mentoring opportunities. That's when I got introduced to the Global Leadership Summit. I wanted to sop up as much leadership as I could, since we laugh, but it's, serious. Like, your traffickers don't teach you how to team build. And so I remember coming back from that summit and writing a manifesto that I would be a boot camp for future leaders, that I would let people learn in my nonprofit how they wanted to go after their dreams. And that's really where it started. I just wanted to start sharing my story. I wanted people to know that trafficking was happening. We had this big conference and workshop where we're teaching some really nuanced, red flags for medical professionals. So this doctor attends the conference. The next day, he leaves the conference, goes back to his shift, and we got an email that said that very night, a young girl had come into the emergency room. He would have normally just dismissed her as a runaway that needed some, maybe resources to get some drug help. But because of the training, he saw every single red flag that he had heard just the day before. And sure enough, this was a trafficked teenage girl that was sitting in ER for help. Because of this one training, that girl was able to get resources and into help that very same night. During that time of training all of these law enforcement and child welfare workers, we started to have survivors reach out and ask if we could mentor them on how to tell their story and how to make a difference in their communities. So with that, we started Elevate Academy, the largest online school for survivors in the world. We started with just 5. 6 years later, we have almost 900 students in 12 countries and spanning 400 US cities. My vision for the future would be able to continue to expand to make a real difference. I mean, sex for sale is out of control, and it's going to continue to grow if we don't all start doing something. We have made so much progress in this fight against human trafficking, but there's still a lot of work to be done. If I wouldn't have pursued this, if I would have said no or been too scared, I think I would have missed out on my own healing. So not only did it help all the people we're serving and to feel like maybe we've made a difference in the nation, but it also helped me. It helped me to be a better mom, helped me to be a better wife, helped me to overcome all of the things that I came into this work with. And now I get to really make a difference, and our team's making a difference, and our allies and our partners. Together, we're making a difference.